welcome all to the Three Ring Circus we like to call Later with Leon. It's your boy, the Destined Legend, Leon Rogers of 107.5 WGCI, iHeartMedia station in Chicago. But I'm on Fox Soul tonight, and I got a great show. But before we get to our guests, I got a problem out there. If I got any girl dads out there, that means fathers that live in the house with all women like I do. I have 3 daughters and a wife, so it's tough. Something happened this morning, and maybe I need some help with it. Maybe the ladies on the panel will help me out tonight. My 8-year-old daughter ran past me to go into the kitchen to get some cereal. She had on a little t-shirt, and I noticed 2 bumps on it. And I said, good Lord, she's 8. And I stopped her, and I said, hey, let me make sure this ain't what I think it is. And she said, oh, no, Dad. Ma says she think I'm going to need a training bra soon. So I've been contemplating suicide because I didn't know they grew like that at 8. So maybe these ladies that are on the show can help me, because I'm just like, oh my God, my 3rd grader needs a training bra. What the hell is going on? Let's get to our guests real quick. Please help me welcome comedian and the star of season 2's They Ready, Miss Kimberly Clark. How you doing, Kimberly?
Good. How are you, Leon? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. And the comedian and radio personality who is known for turning up with a specialty cocktail when she's on stage, good friend of mine, longtime OG in the game, representing D-Town. Coco, what's happening, Coco?
What's up, Leon? What's up, baby? How you doing?
So ladies, please, I need some counseling, because I'm literally dead ass serious. My 8-year-old is filling out on me, and I'm not ready for this. Like my other 2 daughters, they didn't grow those till like 13. I'm not ready for 8. What is it? Is it the food? Do I need to change a diet? What is happening? I can't. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for my little baby to be growing up like that.
Leon, I was about 8 when it happened to me.
Really?
Yeah, I was about 8, 9 years old when I got my first training bra.
Oh my God!
It's when she starts her period. I think that's my dad didn't take that well when I started my period. Like he seemed like he was a little angry over it, actually.
Coco,
see, Leon,
training bra, that's light work.
That's light work.
I never wore training bra. When I was 8, I wore a bra, a grown people bra. Me and my mother probably was wearing the same bra when I was 8. I was about that life. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
I had to. I was at 6 months. I wore a training bra, but at 8, oh yeah, me and my mama was both going to the store called Bra World and getting bras, real
Bra
bras.
World.
Bra World. So you already know it was all color bras. They had all kinds of bras. I can't tell you what a training bra is like, Leon. I can't share that with you.
Okay. Listen, you just never want to see your babies grow up, man. And that's my youngest one. That's my eye too. So listen, pandemic hit us, man. It changed the way we did things. But now they got a vaccine. They got vaccine out, and everybody's like taking the vaccine, not take the vaccine, so they can get back out here, whatever it is. I want to ask you 2 ladies, and I'm gonna start with you first, Kimberly. Are you gonna take the vaccine, or is it something that you're kind of iffy on?
Funny you should ask me. Tomorrow morning, I am getting my 2nd shot of Pfizer.
Okay.
My motivation is because I want to see my mother. You know, my mother is up in age and she's fully vaccinated. So, you know, that's my motivation to do it. If I was like living right, like for real, and I lived in the middle of the mountains and grew my own food and drank from a stream, I wouldn't mess with the vaccine at all. But because, you know, I mean, I eat fairly healthy, but I do eat a Cheeto every now and then.
I hear you.
You know, what is a vaccine going to do to me?
Coco, what about you?
Yes, sir. Friday, I took my 2nd vaccine. I took the Moderna. I took my 2nd one on Friday. Feel wonderful. Here's the crazy part, Leon. While I'm worried about COVID, and I'm joking with people saying, yeah, this is a great time to get your teeth fixed. You got to wear a mask. My whole crown fell off the front of my mouth. So if y'all periodically hear, it ain't a tea kettle. It's a whole tooth missing right here. One guy talking about, ooh, that's sexy. I said, sir, I got a mask on. He said, I like a woman got teeth missing. I said, how can you see it through the mask? And he pulled his mask down, and he looked like he had a haunted house. He had all his fronts gone.
Yeah,
so I didn't feel bad.
That side tooth is sexy. That side tooth missing is sexy.
No, this her here.
Oh, you close to the Michael Strahan. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't shift it over.
It's like a sideways Michael Strahan.
It's a trademark.
Strahan askewed.
Askewed, right? Acute Strahan. You have acute Strahan disorder.
No, this is I just got the crown. I fell off. I had to remove what was left of it. Now I got to let it heal. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have a tooth there. When the crown fell off, though, for about 30 seconds, I grabbed the Gorilla Glue and almost glued it.
Oh, Lord. I'm so glad you didn't do that.
Listen,
Black people just need to leave Gorilla Glue alone. Period.
Yeah.
I grew up with that, Kimberly. What did you say?
Any adhesive. Black folks need to leave any adhesives alone. Double-sided tape, everything, because we just use it the wrong way. Double-sided tape is not meant to hold on brake pads, Black people. Give me some of that give me some of that tape. We can hold these brake pads on till you get home. No, that doesn't work like that. Listen, so me, I'm kind of iffy on the vaccine, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like between 1991 and 1995, I was a little reckless and didn't die then. So I'm gonna take my chances with my immune system working against me. I done ate off I done the 5-second rule at least 35 to 40 times in my life with stuff that shouldn't have been 5-second rule, like an ice cream cone or like
gum.
Chili. You don't 5-second rule chili. It's like on the ground. But I needed that. I got it back. How's the pandemic been treating you all so far, Coco? How's it been treating you so far as far as work and just your well-being and sanity from being in the house?
So, I was raised being told by my grandmother to go sit down somewhere and be quiet. So when the government said I had to sit down and be quiet, I was able to do it. I didn't have to run and get a lot of bleach and stuff because I'm old school. So I had bleach. I had toilet tissue. I did have to get some more. But at cleaning up, I already cleaned up. I already washed my hands. I used to be a nurse. So washing the hands was like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't a problem. Cleaning up your bathroom wasn't really a problem. It was just, and it's still not people that have gloves on. And I'm like, you didn't have the gloves on all day.
Touching everything.
You eating with the gloves. Yeah. You putting eyelashes on. You combing your wig, and you still got some gloves on. One guy had the gloves on, and it looked like the nail part of the gloves was dirty, like he had put a transmission or something in with the gloves. So I didn't understand that. In terms of work, I had to transition a lot of stuff to virtual work. And it was kind of interesting. Now as the world kind of open back up, I'm able to go out and do some shows, and I've been working kind of regular. My goal is by the time they say, okay, go back to regular, I have a manager for my career, a personal assistant, a stylist, and I have my whole grill, my Hollywood love and hip hop grill done by the time they say, okay, you could go back to normal. That's my goal.
So you put your team together. Kimberly, what about you? The pandemic, like, what have you been doing to be great? Because I tell people during this pandemic, you should come out a better person than what you were because you've had a lot of downtime. So how's it affected you in your career?
For sure. Well, I got a special, so that was crazy. Wasn't expecting that. But I've been roller skating actually, and I know you're in Chicago. I want to learn how to JV skate.
JV, you know it.
But I was skating prior to quarantine. I have like 2 pairs of skates that I own, but I've been trying to teach myself tricks. Like I can shuffle properly, I can dribble.
Okay.
But I'm really trying to I need somebody. I'm looking for somebody from Chicago to train me. I'll pay you, go ahead.
You got a couple of people out here that are nice, but there's a brother in Atlanta too named Push 1515 on Instagram. He is so cold. He is super cold with it. He is amazing. But yeah, I know you out here rolling like that. So you've been doing that before the pandemic and you've been doing it during the pandemic as well?
Yeah, exactly. Well, since the rinks are closed, I have to do it outdoors, which I don't really like. So I had to buy some outdoor wheels. I really don't like skating outside,
Why not?
but because the terrain can be a little iffy.
Yeah.
I mean, I go on a basketball court, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
That seemed like some good cardio, some good workout, a good full body
Yeah.
workout, moving back and forth. I want to get back on the skate so bad, but it's this whole thing about falling. I don't like that. I just
Well,
can't.
you got to wear gear now. I mean, a friend of mine, she just got skates and she was trying to teach herself how to skate backwards. And she ended up breaking one of her wrists. And so that motivated me to get wrist guards. But I never wore anything, because I would look at people that wore stuff like, oh, because I really don't fall.
Right.
But when I saw that happen to her, I was like, let me get the wrist guards.
What was now you mentioned about having a special. Besides that, were there any other highlights to your year this past year?
I've been spending a lot of time, but I'm already kind of a loner, but I've really been spending a lot of time just kind of looking within and really, trying to learn more about myself and I don't know, just reconnect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when things are open and everything is going, you're always hustling and bustling and really not taking the time to, check in with yourself. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. The pandemic gave everybody a reset. It made you appreciate and value time. Coco, what about you? Any highlights to your year this year?
Let me see. I stopped wearing my hair blonde and
trademark. That was your trademark.
I know, but you know what? My hair grows so fast. I just went back to my natural color, and I opened myself up to dating again.
Oh,
yeah, to dating. Like it's different. Virtual dating is different. Like he could come to the storm door and put his hands up to the window like this,
like
or like we in jail, or he could call me and order me some Grubhub, or he could tie some groceries to my front door knob with some Instacart. But you can't cross my threshold.
Right.
No, I don't know you like that. I don't know. You may get in here and get comfortable.
Look,
nope.
We got to go to break real quick. We'll be back with more with Kimberly Clark and Coco, and we're gonna talk more about her line of hoes that she lining up for the new year. Lining them up. And Coco is back. We'll be right back for Later with Leon. Fabulous cast tonight here on Later with Leon. I have the talented Kimberly Clark on with us, and of course the OG in this comedy game, Detroit's finest. Coco is in the building. Now, Coco, I got to get back to you. I know I was teasing you about your cavalcade of men. I've known you for a long time. Matter of fact, when I first started, one of the couple of first shows I did was with you. So I gotta tell this story because this is hilarious. Okay. Kimberly, you about to love this.
Okay.
So my wife literally had just had our first daughter, probably about 3 weeks. 3 weeks in, but of course, new mom, stir crazy, tired of being in the house with the baby. We finagled in some way for her mom to watch the child so she could go with me to this show that me and Coco were doing. I can't remember where it was, but it was somewhere up in Michigan. I drove up because I remember we had a nice little ride. We drive up. We get there, Coco like, hey, Leon, what's up? We gonna kill it tonight. I'm like, yeah, Coco. Like, yes, I'm hype. I'm a new comic. I'm ready. Coco fresh off pulling the fifth out of bra on Comic View. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So she said, who is it? I say, oh, this is my wife, Nicole. We just had a baby. And she looks, she say, you just had a baby? How old is the baby? She said about 3 or 4 weeks. This was her exact words. B, you gonna have a setback and die out here. Now, I'm a man. I have no idea what a setback is. And obviously, my wife didn't know neither because she wasn't told about the setback. So I say, Coco, what's a setback? She said, when that baby first come out that thing, you got to keep the air around it clean and controlled. You out here with all this dirty air, it's going to get in there and it's going to kill you. So now I can't focus on the show because I think my wife gonna die because Michigan air is invading her vagina and she's gonna have a setback. Now my wife is looking and Coco's counseling her. They talking. She like, so Coco, that really a thing? She said, yes, girl. You take your ass home and let that man go out and make that. What? Don't be out here.
Oh my gosh.
We went back home. We went back home that night. We didn't even stay. I did the show and drove back home because I'm like, Dr. Coco said, you're going to die. And I don't want to lose you. Not after the first one because I don't want to raise this baby by myself. I need help.
So, Leon, here's the thing. And I don't know if a lot of people know this. I was a nurse and I worked as a nurse for 13 years.
Okay.
So those habits and characteristics, they still present in my life today. So when everybody talking about washing your hand and hand sanitizer, and I see people using a hand sanitizer, I'm like, well, after you use it 2 or 3 times, you got to actually wash your hands. So that kicked in, and the mama part of me kicked in and the midwife kicked in. I'm like, girl, you still open, child. You better put you some thick corduroy pants on and some socks on your feet and grease the top of your head with some bacon fat or something so nothing happen to you. Girl, you're open like a garage. You don't even need to be here. Go sit in your room and hold your legs tight together. Something. I don't know what to tell you, baby.
I'm not a woman and I was scared. I was like, damn, y'all go through that? Man, let me get you back to the crib. And so what's funny, the next, maybe 2 weeks later, you were in Chicago in Dalton at this place called the Dalton Expo. And I came by to do a guest spot because I knew you was there. So let me go see my girl.
Yes.
As soon as I walked, you say, Leon, your wife ain't with you. I said, no, she stayed at home. She said, that's right. Because, you know, she can't get the setback. She's still in the danger zone. I never knew she was a nurse. I never knew you were a nurse. I never knew.
I was.
Was that tough work for you? Because I know nurses see a little bit of everything, from young to old. You know,
I've seen a lot. I became a nurse in like 87.
Okay.
So it was when people were dealing with HIV and they called it AIDS then. They don't use the word AIDS anymore. But they were dealing with HIV and I saw a lot of stuff. And I'm like, okay. And from nursing, I got into stand-up comedy, and then stand-up comedy led me into radio. But some of those old habits are still with me. And I'm glad they're still with me because every now and then I'll be at a club working and somebody get busted in their head with a tequila bottle and I got to hold the rag on their head to the ambulance, get there or something, or some girl that fell out and hit her face on the side of the toilet or something. Now I got to drag her out, put my foot on her head and hold the gauze and stuff. Every time it get real crazy.
Hilarious.
That's a good way to keep your skills up.
Now, Kimberly, I heard you had a very interesting job before comedy, working at LAX for an airline and the lost baggage, which is the one place, let me just say this, I hate to go to lost baggage. I feel like everybody that works there does not care about your situation. So
well, you can't have any feelings if you work in lost baggage. Nobody comes in there happy. There's never a happy ending. Occasionally, but yeah, people used to come in there all the time just yelling, complaining. I worked for America West. You remember that airline?
Yes.
And
this man came in, he was like, this is America's worst airlines. I'm like, dude, we hear that all the time. Like that's a hack joke you try to tell. Yeah, but nobody is ever happy. Ever.
What's the craziest story or funniest story you ever had working that job?
Well, there was this girl, she came in, her bags, of course, were lost. And I don't think she had a lot of experience flying. And
first time on a plane. Right.
Yeah, she was interesting. So she was like, see, that's why I hate America West Airlines. She's like, because y'all got too many overlays. And I was like, I think you mean layover. The overlay is what you get on your acrylic nail. Like you don't have experience. Clearly.
I tell people all the time, comedians have had some of the funniest jobs before they made a comedy. I remember when I first started out in comedy and the money wasn't coming in, and I literally had been a network technician making like 65, 70 grand a year, and I quit it to do comedy. And when the money wasn't coming in like that, I was like, well, I got to get something. I got a baby, you know what I'm saying? So I was working part-time at this place called Jeepers. Jeepers is if Chuck E. Cheese was on crack cocaine, went to rehab, got right, and then dipped back into the darkness. Their mascot was a purple dinosaur, like this purple. I thought it was a rhinoceros, but they said it was a dinosaur. I said, well, it looks like a damn rhinoceros. The day I knew that I had hit rock bottom and comedy had to work for me, first of all, the manager who was running the shift I was on was 19.
Oh, no.
I'm 32. And he goes, it's busy in there. It's like all types of kids running around going crazy. He runs over to me. Cool kid, Jason. I'll never forget his name. He was a cool brother. He said, hey, man, I know you're going on lunch, but could you go over and clean up the Barrel of Fun ride for me? A kid threw up in it. And I looked at him, and our uniforms were purple shirts, khaki pants, and these safari hats. Now I'm standing here looking like a jackass in this uniform, and a 19-year-old just told me to clean up vomit in a revolving barrel ride. I said, my life got to change, Lord. It's comedy got to work, or my family we're gonna be on the street. My wife gonna have to strip. I'm gonna have to work the gay clubs up north, and we're gonna get this money. But I can't.
I worked at a Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese though, that's legit. Like you got street cred. Like Chuck E. Cheese is street cred. Everybody know.
Man.
Nobody knew Jeepers, the rhinoceros dinosaur from Jeepers.
Well, you said to answer the phone, we're making magic at Chuck E. Cheese's.
I would love that.
Terrible.
Not clean up the vomit in the barrel ride. From a 19-year-old. This kid's 19, is my manager. He's looking at me like, hey, Leon, I know you got to go to lunch. So I went, I told him I was going to do it. I went into the locker room, changed out my purple shirt, hung my safari hat up, and I walked home. I didn't even want to call my wife to tell her to come pick me up, to tell her that I was done with Jeepers. I walked home like 2 miles. Wow. I just walked home.
Wow.
So I get it. So when comics tell me they've had crazy jobs, Kimberly, you also worked at in the office at the Laugh Factory.
I did.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I used to work with Jamie Masada in the offices.
Shout out to Jamie.
Jamie, yes, buddy. You know how he talks.
Buddy, yes, buddy.
Leon, I would like you to come to the Laugh Factory in Chicago, buddy. I'm like, okay.
Buddy. Yeah,
buddy.
I worked there, and that was a great experience. I mean, that was really one of the catalysts for getting me to want to do stand-up, because I really didn't see this as an option when I came out to LA. I mean, I wanted to get into television writing and things like that, but stand-up really wasn't on my direct radar until I started working at the Laugh Factory. Yeah.
Wow.
But I used to see everybody there.
No doubt. Now,
all the greats.
Coco, let's talk about seeing all the greats, man. Coco.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out to my man Joe, one of the realest brothers, man, that put me on. I can remember me, Marcus Combs, and D. Ray Davis driving up to Detroit to see who would get a feature spot on Damon Williams' show. Yeah. And Joe said, I'm gonna let all three of y'all go up. We did guest spots, and then he booked us from there. And it started at your spot for me. That was like one of my first major out-of-town gigs at Coco's Comic Con on Jefferson Street. Still, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And
talk about your rise from becoming a nurse and going into comedy to having a comedy club named after you, because it was so crazy. That place was crazy.
Leon, the crazy part, and it still is for me, I hear that conversation at least 2 to 4 times a month. When you go open the club back, what you gonna do at the club when you coming back? But between comedy and radio, I met some amazing people. DMX, Shock G.
Rest in peace.
Houdini, John Witherspoon, Dolomite, Rick James, George Clinton. I've met literally everybody. And it has been a phenomenal experience. Yeah. And you know people love you when people would stand in the rain or the cold or the heat for hours at a time to wait on the people to leave to come into another show.
Yes.
So we got to talk about that. We got.
When we come back, man, more with Coco's Comedy Club. Got a funny story about y'all mayor.
Don't stop.
More later with Leon. We'll be right back. Miss Kimberly Clark, Coco the comedian, man. We back. It's live. It's lit. We are back later with Leon, man. Listen, if you're enjoying the show and you want to see more Fox Soul content, all you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, get the best updates on live shows. Thumbs up, man. Tell us how you feel in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that's in our comment section, talking and having a good time with us, man. Some amazing stories from two amazing comedians in the building. One that did not give a care about anybody's lost luggage, and the other one that would give you that shot of penicillin when you had an STD. Got Coco.
Yes, sir.
In the building. So, Coco, we were talking about Coco's Comedy Cafe and how legendary the room was. The who's who of comedy slid through there. Some names, some of my favorite Detroit comedians: Foolish, Downtown Tony Brown, Tony Roberts, my man Martini Harris, Stab,
Bobo Lamb,
legendary comedians that came through there. I remember doing a feature act up there one time, and there was this dude in the crowd. He's got a bunch of people around him, Coogee sweated out, big diamond earrings, looking like Suge Knight with hair. And one of his guys was acting up. Now I'm killing, having a great set, but one of his guys just acted him up. He said, "Hey, man, roast this N-word." And I said, "Man, I ain't from here. I ain't trying to get killed. I know how they get down in Detroit." He said, "Man, roast him. Ain't nothing going to happen to you." Now, mind you, I'm thinking this dude, big-time drug dealer out of Detroit. He want me to roast one of his boys. I go on a 5-6 minute tirade on his boy, light him up, got the whole club laughing at him. He gives me $400 cash out his pocket. Show's over. They leaving out. Everybody dapping you up. You know how comics go stand at the door with that love. When we do good, but when we bomb, we go to the bathroom while everybody's leaving.
Yes.
They all leaving out. And so Foolish go, "Hey, man, you know who that was?" I was like, "Who?" He's like, "That's our mayor." I said, "Your mayor?" He's like, "Kwame Kilpatrick." I said, "This dope Dylan dress, Coogee slack wearing, this is y'all mayor?" I said, "Y'all city ain't gonna make it. It's over. It's done. My city is not going nowhere. Y'all city gonna be on the news."
Oh my goodness.
Y'all city gonna be on the news in about 2-3 years. And no joke, here we come. You know what I'm saying? So that was just one of the most memorable times I had there. And that was a fun time. What was it like for you, though, having that named after you and having that be a part of comedy legacy? You can't talk about comedy in the Midwest without talking about Coco's Comedy Club.
Wow. So it's interesting because when you in the moment, you don't think about being in the moment. But after that moment is done and you go back and sit and think about it, like every weekend that I worked, if I wasn't on the road, I would literally have to come home and just sit and detox. Like, man, Cedric the Entertainer was here.
Right.
That was Ronaldo Ray. Right. DL was here. Monique was here. Adele Givens was here. And my phone would be blowing up. I would literally, at that time I had a fiance, I would hand him my phone. Because people would get to the door and I hear, "Hey, kill Big Coco, such and such at the door." I'm not coming out there.
Right.
Because if I come get you in, I got 3 more people I got to get in. Yep. And even now the conversation with younger people, because my daughter, and she was young, she would come. Her and her friends would come and be like, "Listen, stay in the green room, chill out, enjoy the show." But I get younger people now come up to me like, "Yeah, my mom and daddy said they met and you was responsible." I said, "What I do?" And I'm thinking about the radio. They said, "No, they met at Coco's House of Comedy." I be like, "They still together?" "Yep, they still together." I'm like, wow. It's so impactful and it's so humbling. And then it takes you to a place of all the people that you left an indelible mark on their life. You don't think about that, like I said, when you in the moment, but afterwards you like, you know what? I was the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still the stuff, but wow. And a
Yeah.
lot of comics that came through are doing amazing things now. Amazing, amazing. Deion Cole, D. Ray Davis, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, Monique Adele Givens, Cheryl Underwood.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, wow.
Yes.
Mike Epps, it's like, wow.
Absolutely. And I appreciate it so much. It was a learning experience for me to go to another city like Detroit. Like if you could survive Coco's Comedy Club, Peppermint Lounge in New Jersey, 559 in Atlanta, Bruce, shout out to Bruce, big brother. And then you had, all jokes aside, in Chicago. If you could
That
run
first
that,
show on Saturday night at all
and
jokes.
come on, stop it. Or the Click. You remember the Click, Coco?
I fell off the stage at the Click. I still got that mark on my leg. Ooh. Shoo.
Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's get a little serious. Women in the industry, right?
Kimberly, you answer this question.
Yeah.
Don't leave me out
Kim,
here.
I'm gonna throw to you. Women in the industry. It's a lot of, sexism is, a touchy thing, and I always try to treat my sisters like they're just comics. A lot of times I don't look at you all as women comics. You're a comic, period.
Right.
Have you ever ran into sexism in the game, and how has it affected your career? Kimberly, I'm gonna start with Kimberly.
First of all, I appreciate you saying that you treat female comics as just comics, and I think I mentioned this when we did the after show roundtable talk on the special, but one thing that is so annoying to me is when I'm being brought up on stage and they're like, this next funny lady, it's
Right.
like, why is this even, necessary to say in my intro? Because you didn't say that about the male, you didn't say this next funny man, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
little things like that. I don't know. I come from a place where, and this goes for racism, sexism, any type of ism. If I feel like it's being projected onto me, I try to just do what I have to do. And the way I fight it is by being successful. You know what I'm saying? And being excellent. Because I think sometimes when you're fighting all the time, it really knocks you off your square and you're not really focused on what it is that you're trying to do. And that's being, the best comic that you can be. And if you're always focused on sexism and this person did this to me and this person did that to me, not saying that it's not real. And
Right.
there are days that it does get to me, but I like to focus on what I like to do or what I love to do.
The craft.
I don't have time for the other people. If you want to be sexist, you could do it on your own time, but don't do it on mine.
Right. No, definitely.
That's where I'm at.
Coco, what's your viewpoint on that? Because you've been in the game a long, long time.
Yeah.
And
30 years.
You came from an era where it was a super male dominant era. You know what I'm saying? It was a super male dominant era. Not saying that it's not male dominated now, but I think women are making more and more noise in the comedy game, and they're actually surpassing some of their contemporaries. But what was it like for you coming up in the game?
It's funny because I hear some of the same things that Kimberly was saying, but you have to be uber funny as a woman. You already know in your mind that just let me on stage, I'm gonna be funny. All this conversation, you the promoter, whatever, stop coming in this green room. I don't want to talk to you. If you're trying to hit on me, let me just be real clear. If I do anything with you, I'm not gonna work for you and work for you. So you could just give me my money and I'm gonna leave. Because you ain't gonna work me and then work me. That's not gonna happen. And then let me go on stage and be funny. Don't be moving me around. Well, I don't know if you're funny. Somebody else said they want to see you on the show. Let me on stage, sir. I didn't heard it all. I didn't heard, I'm gonna come to your room and pay you. No, you're not coming to my room and pay me, sir. You didn't go to the other guy's room. I don't need you in the lobby. You can have my envelope somewhere. Why you want to come in my room?
Right.
I create a definitive line, and you gonna respect me. You're not gonna disrespect me. You ain't gonna have no crazy conversations with me and all of that. Let me go on stage and be funny and do my gift. Let me live in my gift and do what I got to do. All the other stuff, you can have that.
More of this topic when we come back, because I got some other points that I want you women to hit on this show. We'll be right back. More with comedian Coco and the fabulous Kimberly Clark right here on Later with Leon. It's up. I am having the greatest of time talking to two fabulous comedians, Miss Kimberly Clark and Coco, the comedian. We were talking about sexism in the game and how it's affected you all. And Kimberly, I remember you saying, like, listen, you don't let that get to you. You do what you here to do. Don't do that crap on my time. Let me work. Let me do my thing. Now, let me say something to both of you ladies, attractive ladies. Do you think, and I'm going to start with you first, Coco, do you think looking a certain way allow women to book more gigs? And how do you feel about that?
Ooh, this funny you should say this. I remember there was and still was, I'm gonna say was a very, very attractive comedian, and I was working with her. And I was excited to work with her because, from what I saw, I thought she was a phenomenal comedian. When I worked with her, I realized that a lot of her booking was related to her aesthetics. I didn't really figure it out until first I was the feature and she was the headliner. And that was that Thursday night. Friday night, the promoter came to me and was like, hey, I want y'all to co-headline because
you was
she
killing
didn't
it.
bring it.
Right. We know what it is.
Okay, you say yeah. So the promoter, that's the first show, Friday night. Second show, he was like, I need you. I said, are you talking to her? I said, because you having a conversation with me. And she acting surprised. You need to have a conversation with her. So I went from featuring Thursday to co-headlining Friday to headlining Saturday. And she was a little salty with me. I said, baby girl, I didn't change the rotation. He changed it. She was like, well, and I told him, I said, listen, if you change my position, you have to adjust the money. I said, sir, I will go up there and do my 15 to 20 minutes as a feature and won't do no more time. So, and in my head, I said, yeah, I was like Jethro Bodine on the Beverly Hills business. I'm like, yeah, you gonna owe me, yeah, this much more money. That's how much you gonna owe me. He was like, okay, I'll give it to you. Because people were coming to see her because she was the national act.
Right.
But after she did that 5 or 10 minutes that she was known for on TV, it was like, and I rarely say that about any comic, but sometimes you got to know in yourself, you get offered things that you may not be ready for. Like every comedian's goal is to headline, but if you haven't been in the game that long and you don't know how to maneuver and manipulate an audience or know how to work an audience, you may say, oh, you ready to headline, and you go on stage and you got 300 people looking at you like, all right, what's up?
Right.
What you doing? And you repeating the line, you don't know what city you in, all that. So sometimes the statement you can bite off more than you can chew is so true.
Kimberly,
it's so true.
What about you? Have you ever experienced what I like to call style over substance?
Ooh.
Yeah, beauty privilege is something that affects every.
I like that, Kim. I like that.
Beauty privilege.
Yes.
It affects every profession. I kind of talk about it in my stand-up when I'm talking about butterflies and moths. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way the world works. I think with stand-up, it's funny with male comics. If a male comic is too attractive, people are less apt to want to laugh at him, or at least dudes, maybe. You know what I mean? Right. Or male comics that have too much muscle or whatever. Yeah. Like, you know, that's always an
Like
issue.
I get
too,
mad
so.
when my wife laugh at Finesse Mitchell more than me. Finesse my guy. I'd be like, hey.
The ladies like
dude,
the attractive male comics, but
Bill Bellamy.
dudes
Right.
aren't gonna laugh at them.
Right. Yeah. He ain't that funny. Right.
Yeah, I don't. It's something, it's something that unfortunately we women have to deal with all facets, from the boardrooms to stages. But at the end of the day, it's about substance, and being able to, be effective at what you do. That's why I'm so focused on writing and, really honing my craft. I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm still learning a lot. I've been doing it for a while, but I'm still focused on the craft and not so much, the other stuff. And whoever is getting stuff because they're beautiful or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that, but just make sure that you have, the tools to back it up.
Kimberly, I'm gonna stay with you real quick before we go.
Okay.
To break, and I want to get to Coco before we go to break real quick. You think the Me Too movement affected the comedy space enough to make a change and stuff like that going
on? Sure. I mean, yeah. That's a tricky question. I don't think the Me Too movement alone did it, but
okay.
I don't know. I think we're evolving, as humans, and a lot of things affected.
Let's be honest.
We are.
There's some promoters out here, like Coco was talking about, like, they use the whole fact that booking you as an intro to try to get into your draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, people are speaking up now, which is good. You know what I mean? Yes. And I think, yes, when you mention the Me Too movement, yes, that's given a lot of people the courage to speak up, and more women to speak out and talk about it more, and putting people out there so that they can be accountable for their actions and stuff, to make it where people are less apt to, want to do those practices and treat women like that.
Coco, 30 seconds before we go to break. How do you feel on that?
Yes, baby. I think it helped change the narrative, and it makes the person that's intending to do you harm think about the results of what they finna do. And it gives you a lot of your power back that you felt that you had relinquished. Even if you didn't experience anything, it just gives you some power, and it empowers you to navigate through this whole entertainment cacophony. That's what it is.
Okay, when we go to break, I'm going to find out what the hell cacophony mean, because I we'll be back more later with Leon with these educated words. I don't know what the hell was just said. We're back with comedian Kimberly Clark, an astute professor of cacophony, or whatever the hell she said before we went to break.
Cacophony.
Yeah, whatever. Is that a play off Coco, your name?
No, it's like a bunch of noise and sound. Yeah, so you know what it is. That could be my
That's the writer. That's the writer in her. You see that?
Come on, Kim. Come on.
I got you.
Yeah, give it up for Kimberly Clark, the writer, and Coco, the rapper, with these bars that I just can't get with. Listen, first of all, ladies, I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure having you all on the show.
Thank you.
A refreshing perspective and just the funny stories, man. I'm talking about, from working in the lost luggage department to being a nurse, which I knew neither about both of y'all. Shout out my producer, Kev, man, who keep me on point. Before we get out of here, Kimberly, what you got going on? Where can people find you ASAP if they want to follow Miss Kimberly Clark?
Yes, so you can find me. My handles are Kimberly Clark Comedy on IG. And my Twitter is connected to my IG. My Twitter handle is a little different. But yeah, I'm currently writing on a BET show. I can't really say what it is because they haven't made the official announcement for it, but I'm doing that. And hopefully I'll be on the road soon. I'm working out some new material here locally in LA. So, I can't wait to, hit the stages. So
I appreciate you, Queen. Coco, OG, what you got going on?
You can follow me on Instagram, Coco the Comic, Twitter, I'm Coco the Comic, and on Facebook, I'm Ginger Hudson. Don't ask me why. I look you up.
Wait. Oh my God. You better be glad we ain't got that much time left.
We ain't got that much time. So listen, Mother's Day weekend, I will be working here in Detroit with Coco Brown, myself and Coco Brown for Mother's Day weekend. The first week in June, I will be in Indianapolis. Just follow me on social media. I'm gonna let you know where I'm gonna be, what I'm doing, and I'm still looking for a
manager,
a stylist, and a consultant, and a personal assistant.
There it is, man. Thank you for tuning in for Later with Leon. Listen, if you're watching, if you see something bad going on in your neighborhoods, say something. For Kimberly Clark, Coco, my name is Leon Rogers. The Tammy Mack Late Show is up next. Shout out to my homegirl, Tammy Mack. Rest in peace, my man, DMX, man. He was laid to rest this weekend. And rest in peace to Shock G. I love y'all, man. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.